Hello Internet! So today I'm going to be doing my December book haul. I had quite a few books to show you as always, so I'm just gonna jump straight into it. The first book that I acquired this month was The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, and this is the series that he wrote after the Percy Jackson series, I believe. I really loved the Percy Jackson series, which has to do with Greek mythology, and I'm not sure if this series is more Roman mythology or Greek mythology, but either way I'm really looking forward to diving into another one of his series. Even though his series are meant for middle grade, they're also very enjoyable for older people as well. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this series next year, and this was actually a Christmas gift from a friend. I'm really excited to have this. Next up, I got Another Day by David Levithan, which is the sequel to Every Day by David Levithan. And I believe that this is kind of the same story as that one, but told from Rhiannon's perspective, which is another main character. Every Day was about a person who wakes up in someone else's body every day, and so they don't really have a gender or anything because they're someone different every day. But they're able to meet this girl named Rhiannon and convince her that they are able to do this and form a friendship, sort of. It was a really interesting story, but it's really hard to explain. But I'm really excited to have the sequel, and I found it on sale, and I am looking forward to finding out more about this story and maybe getting some more insight to the other main characters' story as well. Next, I got Marley and Me by John Grogan, which is a memoir, and this is a book that I've actually already read. I read it about 7 or 8 years ago and really loved it, and I love the movie as well with Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson, and so I was able to find this on sale and I decided to pick it up because I didn't own it, and this is definitely a book that I want to reread one day. If you are at all a dog person, I highly suggest reading this book because it is awesome and it's hilarious but also sad because dog stories tend to be that way. But I really loved this book and I'm really glad that I own it now. Next up, I got Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Probably not. I have heard really fantastic things about this book. I think it has to do with a girl who is in love with the Ripper or helps Jack the Ripper or something, but I've heard really good things about it and I've been really wanting to read it, and I am planning on participating in the biannual Bibliothon in January, and this is going to be the group book, so that's why I went ahead and got it, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Next up, I have An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, and I got this book not only because it's something I have heard tremendous things about on BookTube, but also I found it for like $5 at Target, so I was like, why not? And this is a fairly popular YA fantasy series. I know that there are 2 books out right now, this one and the sequel, A Torch Against the Night, but I believe that there are going to be more, I think. I don't know a whole lot about the plot or the story of this one, but I've heard really good things about it. And I believe this is also considered a diverse book because I believe that the author is diverse, which is really cool because I definitely want to make it a priority to try and read more diverse books in the coming year. So I'm really glad to have this one now. Next up, I have Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, which is another pretty popular YA fantasy book. I know that there are 2 books in this series out right now, and the 3rd one comes out in, I want to say, February. And the reason I got this one is because I've heard pretty good things about it, but also the author is coming to Nashville in February for the release of the 3rd book, so I really want to go to that book signing, but since I haven't read the 1st book yet, I figured I should at least read the 1st one before I go to the book signing for the 3rd book. I think this is supposed to be a pretty fast read, so I should be able to knock this out sometime next month, so I went ahead and picked it up. Again, I don't know a whole lot about the plot of that one, but I've heard really good things about it, and I like to go into a lot of books kind of blind, so I'm okay with not knowing a whole lot about it. The next book that I have is Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Colthurst, and this is a debut novel, and it is also the one that came in the December Owl Crate, and it is a diverse novel because it is basically about a princess falling in love with another girl, and that's awesome. I haven't really read a lot of fantasy books with lesbian love stories, so I think that'll be really cool to read. I know that they're doing another Diversathon next month, so I will probably read this then because it sounds really good. And I'm just really excited to have this. I've heard pretty good things about it, and so that's really all I need to know about this book. Next up, I have More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. And though this wasn't necessarily a Christmas gift, I got a gift card to Books A Million for Christmas, so I used that to buy this. This is a book that I have been wanting to read for a while. I've heard amazing things about it. I believe it's about a boy who comes to realize that he has a girlfriend, but I think he realizes that he's gay. And so he wants to have some kind of memory alteration procedure to forget that he's gay. I don't know if he goes through with it, but I've heard that it's an amazing book, and it's also not only a diverse book, but an own voices book, because Adam Silvera is also gay. So I have heard amazing things about it, and I've been wanting to read it. It looks like, again, it's going to be a pretty quick read, so I might read this one for Diet Versathon next month as well. I know Adam Silvera has a new book coming out next month too, and he's going to be in Nashville for that one as well. I'm hoping to go to that signing, but I'm not for sure yet if I'm going to be able to go. But either way, I think he's coming back to Nashville next year for a book festival in like March. So either way, I'm going to get to meet him at some point, and I want to read his book before I do that. The next book I have is a book that I didn't think I was actually going to get, but then I decided to just go ahead and get it, and that is The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them screenplay by J.K. Rowling. When they announced that they were doing this, I wasn't very excited for it, because a screenplay is meant to be seen and not read, and so I was like, why are they doing that? What's the point other than money? And then I saw Fantastic Beasts, and I thought, I wonder what other details Joe wrote in the screenplay that was not necessarily super obvious in the movie. So I decided that I needed to read it because it existed. So why not? Plus, it's beautiful. So I just kind of wanted it for my Harry Potter shelf anyway. And when you take the cover off, there's a Niffler on it. And it's super cute. I ended up buying it anyway. And I don't care. I'm really excited to own it because it's beautiful. If I can read it as fast as I read Cursed Child, then I can read this in like a day. So it'll be a good book for a future readathon. And the very last book I have for this book haul is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing by Marie Kondo. And I bought this because I have a lot of stuff, and I also really need to clean out a lot of stuff. And I've heard a few other booktubers talk about reading this and being inspired to get rid of things and clean, and that's something that I really need to do. So I thought this would be a good thing for me to get, so whenever I have a little more time off from work, I can read this and then be inspired to get rid of stuff, because I have a problem with that, but if I get in the right mindset, I can do it really easily. And I've heard this is really good for that, so I bought it, and we'll see if it works. It's a really short book, so I'll be able to read it quickly and then hopefully get rid of some things and declutter my life a little bit. Fingers crossed. I bought this basically as a New Year's resolution because it's almost 2017 and this is a thing that I want to do next year, so yeah. So this is my last scheduled video for 2017, but I'm going to make one like a bonus video on New Year's Eve talking about some of my resolutions going into 2017. So there will be one more video on my channel this year. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these and what you thought. Of course, keeping those thoughts spoiler free. And that'll be it for this video, and I will see you guys next time with another video.